Yo, the Big D, ready to rumble as I do something I haven't done much this year. Oh, year. Okay, okay, I'm only kidding. I've done a few DraftKings drafts this year, but tonight, if anybody's seen the title, I'm jawing for stacks. Yes, tonight is the 50th anniversary of the original Jaws movie, which came out in 1975. So I am jawing for stacks. Joining me to grade my work and maybe we talk 49 Bears. Ken the Bear fan. So Ken, wait, 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 wait. The Bear. Wait. Do you remember the Monday night game between the Bears and the Cardinals when the late Dennis Green said that, and I quote, "The Bears are who we thought they were, and that's why we played the bleeping game." Now, if you want to crown their bleeps.
I remember watching that game. Devin Hester ran 2 back, and the defense scored all the points. Not a single offensive touchdown was scored in that game.
I mean, you can't blame Arizona's defense for that game. They played really well. Rex Grossman peed his pants more than he did in the Super Bowl, which is saying something.
Well, I mean, Lovie Smith was not a great offensive mind, and they didn't have the best coordinator at the time. I mean, look, in the Super Bowl, we watched the meltdown of Rex Grossman when Jones got hurt, and they completely abandoned the run game by midway through the second quarter. They didn't run the ball the rest of the football game. And then you just saw, Indianapolis knew every play was going to be a pass play, and they were ready for it every play. You just saw Rex Grossman's confidence just go lower, and he never recovered. Ruined his career in that game. What's up, Yoli? Good to see you.
Well, to be honest, I don't remember many Super Bowls where the quarterback disparity was higher than that game. I mean, Rex Grossman, top first-round pick, but he was in no way, shape, or form like Peyton Manning's.
You know what's funny, though? Last summer, I had Desmond Clark on the morning show. And I asked Desmond, who was your favorite quarterback you ever played with? And he said, hands down, Rex Grossman.
That's saying something. But Rex was a number 1 pick coming out of Florida, finished second in 2001 for the Heisman. And while Rex could throw the ball down the field, he wasn't a guy.
The way Desmond put it, when Rex was on, oh my God, was he on. When he was off, oh my God, was he off.
It's like a closer in baseball today. If he's on throwing that fastball, but if he's off,
yeah. I mean, Lovie Smith, that was 2006 was the best offense they had under Lovie Smith. And that offense ranked like 15th or 16th in the league. And that was the best offense Lovie Smith was ever able to muster as a head coach of the Chicago Bears. His defenses were phenomenal, but they never got an offensive coordinator in there that could do what they needed to do to bring that offensive level up.
Yeah, thinking about the Bears, I mean, of course, Urlacher, Lance Briggs,
Peanut Tillman,
Nathan Vasher, because I played with the Bears in Madden.
Tommy Harris.
Yeah, Tommy Harris, great defensive tackle. Wasn't that the Super Bowl Tank Johnson ended up in trouble?
Who ended up in trouble?
Wasn't the Super Bowl when Tank Johnson ended up in trouble?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember what it was, but yeah. I still can't believe that Super Bowl they did the opening kickoff and they kicked it to Hester. I can't
Yeah,
believe we picked
And Tony Dungy didn't kick it to Devin Hester the rest of the game. Like,
No.
yeah, don't kick it to.
Don't kick it to 23. He'll burn you.
Yeah, don't kick it or don't let 20. Yeah, 23 in Chicago should be off to the Hall of Fame, whether it be Jordan or Hester. Oh wait, that
Well,
both of them.
Hester's in the Hall of Fame. Jordan's in the Hall of Fame. Sandberg is in the Hall of Fame. Who wore 23 for the White Sox? I think they've got someone in the Hall of Fame with that number. That number goes to Hall of Fame in Chicago a lot. Hester should be first ballot, but I get it. They didn't know what to do with the special teamers, so he wasn't a first ballot. But he should have been. But he's in now, so it's all that matters.
Andrew Benintendi wears number 23 for the White Sox.
No, I'm trying to think of someone from the past that wore it that got might be Hall of Fame. But there are quite a few Hall of Famers across Chicago sports that wore 23. Of course, Jordan being the most notable. But Ryan Sandberg wore it, and of course, Hester. Roshan Johnson wears it now for the Bears.
Maybe he'll take over Chicago's backfield this year. I mean,
if they ever use him right. Fans have been frustrated with Johnson because we drafted him. He was sitting behind Bijan. I think if he'd have gone to any other NCAA program, he would have been a starter. And since he's been in Chicago, they haven't done much with him. So maybe this will be the year that Ben Johnson finally figures out how to use Rojo in Chicago.
Didn't Ben Johnson have DeAndre Swift in 21?
He was injured most of that year. That was his injury year mostly. And then, so he was 1 year with Ben Johnson. He was mostly injured. They trade him out when they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs. He became the odd man out because they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs and signed away from the Bears. I'm looking at his helmet right now. Their other running back in Detroit. They signed him. Monty, thank you, Monty. And they trade him to the Eagles, where he has a great year. And then the Eagles don't re-sign him because they get Saquon, and the Bears get him with a trash O-line last year. Still ran for 950 yards in Swift. So yeah, I mean, not bad for Swift to look at 950 yards with the trash O-line, and he still has that probably the best home run hitting ability speed-wise in the NFL at running back. I mean, he's going to be a good weapon for the Bears.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny you say Bears may have too many weapons on offense, but I'm
telling you, if they fix that offensive line, it's going to be a very interesting season. I would figure there are more Bears get drafted in fantasy drafts now than did, say, 3 years ago.
I'll tell you this. I mean, I know you haven't done any drafts, but I've drafted a lot of Bears, drafted a lot of Caleb, Moore, Rome, not much on Swift, drafting some Roshan, Burden, the tight ends. I think the Bears are going to be good this year. I mean, difficult division.
For the Bears, it comes down to the line.
Well, absolutely. Every team comes down to their own line. If Joe Burrow's got an offensive line, the Bengals win.
Yeah. Well, no, if Joe Burrow has a defense, the Bengals win.
That too. And I mean, you schedule this year. I mean, play the NFC East, the AFC North, and let me think. Who is your out of conference game?
We've got the AFC East, the NFC North.
East, NFC.
Yeah. So we got a tough schedule.
Excuse me, AFC East. Thank you.
Yeah, East, and AFC North. AFC North, AFC East, and then we get from the South and the West our counterparts record, place wise from last year. And then we get, I think we have the Raiders is one of our extras. We get the Raiders.
Yeah, you're right. I think you get the Raiders, which, I mean, it's in Vegas. So, I mean, it's a dome game.
Don't sleep on Vegas, man. Don't sleep on Vegas. Vegas can actually be pretty good this year.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I think Vegas. I think Vegas is going to be very much improved, especially with Janty, Brock Bowers. I don't know how you stop that guy. I literally have no idea how teams are going to stop that guy.
Yeah, now they got a better coaching staff. They got Geno. They got better quarterback play. That AFC West is going to be an interesting division this year, and I don't know if Kansas City wins it, let alone makes the playoffs from it.
Oh, I'll tell you this much. I'll tell you this much. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna tell you my pick right now. I wouldn't be at all surprised if there's a new king in the West. I mean,
I'm right there with you. I'm right. I wouldn't be surprised either. I think this is the most at risk Kansas City's been in a few years of not winning that division.
I have no idea what to do with Rashee Rice this year. I've seen Rashee Rice go in like the second round of draft, and
Don't
I'm like,
draft him. That's what you do with them right now. Don't draft him. Because whether he's back from injury, whether he's going to be effective, I mean, look at. I think you're going to draft a lot of players from the NFC North are going to go in the drafts this year because the NFC North is loaded with talent, not just Chicago, but I mean, there's talent in Green Bay, unfortunately. There's talent in Minnesota, unfortunately, and even Detroit, with all the question marks they got with their offensive line and coaching, they still got Monty, you still got Gibbs, you still got St. Brown. JMO is an interesting piece they've got there. You still have Laporta. They still got some playmakers. And, I mean, there's a lot of playmakers in the NFC North this year.
Top to bottom is the NFC North, NFL's toughest division, because some people would say, what about the NFC West, the AFC North?
I would have said last year, I would have said the two Norths are the toughest two divisions in football. I would say the NFC North is definitely up there. The NFC East is coming up pretty good. The Giants have just a phenomenal defensive line. The Eagles, of course, won it. The Commanders overachieved last year, but they're still going to be good. The East is actually pretty good in the NFC. So the NFC North and East are probably the best two in the NFC, and then it's still probably the North and the West. I'd say it's the North and the West in the AFC. I don't know if the West is as good as the North yet in the AFC.
I don't know if the NFC West is quite what it was a few years ago. I think the Rams are clearly the best team. I have no idea what to think of the Niners.
Who knows what Keebler Elf is doing in Arizona? And Seattle last year was a better road team than home team. Go figure that one. You got the number one pick.
Yeah, you found out when you found out week 17 in the greatest Thursday night game ever played. That almost bored me watching that game.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting year. Do you have the number one pick?
No, I got 6.
Okay, so let's see who's still gonna be here by 6. Let me make the screen bigger here so I can see who's gonna be.
I know you haven't done best balls, but 20 teams, 20 rounds, 12 teams, and we try and find stacks, bring backs, and there aren't any waiver moves, there aren't any trades. If somebody gets hurt, tough luck.
Got to hit the wire. Can you hit the waiver wire?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I see your cue. DJ Moore's probably safe with not having to worry about an injury, but Kittle, he might be about the only weapon that gets anything in San Francisco. I mean, Ayuk is still there, but I don't know about San Francisco right now. I mean, I know that's your team, but they are somewhat of a question mark this year in terms of. And Kittle he did a big contract, but even last year he was tough to have on fantasy, man. Like he was a tough fantasy guy last year.
I must say, it's hard. I mean, Kittle got 8 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards regular season.
He's like, you get a big game out of him, and then you get 2 or 3 where you don't get much. I guess that's the thing. I mean, I guess that's true for a lot of position players, but
well, yeah. I mean, it's start with CD at Lamb. Yeah, Can never go
Yeah.
wrong with Lamb.
Yeah, he's gonna get numbers because Dak at least can get you numbers in the regular season.
And by the way, we don't care about playoff numbers here.
Yeah, it's all about fantasy numbers here. Yeah, I made you think of that, huh? With Dak, Caleb might be good this year for you too. You might be able to get him a little bit later.
Trust me, I've got a lot of Caleb Williams this year. If you see some of my drafts, I'm high on the Bears. I seemingly get DJ Moore about once every other week.
Nakua, that's interesting early. See how fast Genty comes off the board. I don't know what to think of him either.
I've seen Janty go as high as the 103 and like early second round. I mean, Janty is going to be thinking of the year Saquon came off the board second round, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, but just there he came off the board. Someone just got him.
Yep. Yeah, who do the
you know if he's there in your next pick, you almost got to go with Brock Bowers.
Especially if especially I've done a couple of slow drafts. I've done a couple of drafts in general where if I get Malik Nabers, I'm trying to get Brock Bowers for that week 17. But wow, Malik Nabers fell to the second round. That's surprising. I know Nabers got the toe injury, but
I always like where Wrangler 77. I kind of like that we had that snake pick. It just sucks waiting, man. Like being where you're at here in the middle kind of is okay, but it's like, that's the worst draft position in the middle.
Yeah, it's like you can't use the restroom. Well, that's early for AJ Brown. Well, not early. It's a little early, but nothing crazy.
Heck, okay. So Neighbors is off the board. So let's see if any of these two guys take Bowers.
Oh, JT.
Yep, he took him.
I'm gonna take Lamb McConkey. I know the Cowboys and Chargers play. I think week 15 or 16. Could you look up when the Cowboys and Chargers play?
Yeah, I can do that. Let me get out of the big screen here. Cowboys and who?
Chargers. Now I can get
their game. Come on. Waiting for the site to come up. There we go. Cowboys, Chargers, December 21st.
Would be week 16 if my memory serves me right, because you play San.
Well, you can still get tickets for as low as $61 for that game.
Are those standing room only?
Probably.
Yeah, exactly what I'm thinking. There's a guy who I want here. Joe Burrow, that's probably. He's dropped in Bengals. Surprise. Not that that's ever a bad idea.
Marvin Harrison Jr. might be a good pick right there. Looks like he's gonna be a beast this year.
Who?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Uh,
He's been hitting the weights in the off season.
So is everyone. What are you doing? So you all out on taking Rashee Rice, correct?
Yep, I'm out on Rashee Rice. Look at right now. I mean, you can go with Scary Terry. You can go with Josh Allen. Both of those are good picks, I would think, if they're there. I'd be out on Rashee Rice, especially if you can get DJ Moore later.
Well, one of us took Terry because I am an idiot.
Who'd you end up taking?
I took Terry.
Oh, you took Scary Terry. Yeah, I like that. That's good. So you got three
Holy cow! J-Man 44 is going double robust tight end.
why not?
Holy, that's nuts.
Bye week. Oh, wait. No, they're both week 8 bye week. That's stupid. Manage your bye weeks, dude. Like, you're good on, well, you need another receiver for week 12, but
Yeah.
manage your bye weeks, people.
I mean, I'm not saying it's the strategy I would employ, but hmm, if he's there, I'm gonna take if he's there, I'm gonna take a certain quarterback from a certain school. I'm not gonna tell you who it is, but you could probably guess who it'll be.
Or if your cue's any indication.
I haven't cubed him.
Yeah. I got Herbert cued too.
Yeah. I'm not gonna take Dak or Herbert yet. I'm not that klutzy. Xavier Worthy. What, Devontae Adams fell more than he usually does. Well, there goes
Oh, there
DJ.
was DJ.
If you take Devontae Adams fell. Just in
Wow.
front of. Oh gosh, you're gonna make me. You're gonna make.
You know,
I'll just take him. I'll just take him.
oh, you didn't take him, did you? You did. You took Jaden Daniels. Oh,
I'll just take Jane Daniels at the 4-7.
I think they had really great coaching last year. They overachieved. That team overachieved. It'll be interesting to see how they do now in year 2 of Jaden Daniels. I think they'll fall back a little bit.
I mean, if Jane Daniels throws Hail Marys like he did against your guys last
But a
year.
Hail Mary is a luck play. It's a luck play. You can't count on those. Look at when the Vikings won like 11 one-score games one year. The next year they lost 8 one-score games. I mean, that's how a Hail Mary is. You might get 1 out of 20.
So wait a minute, didn't the Chiefs win like 11 one-score games last year?
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't strike twice in one, for that team usually back-to-back years.
Well,
I mean, wow, I can't believe J-Mo went at 49. I wouldn't have drafted
yeah,
J-Mo.
that's nothing. I'm surprised Fidel took Burrow in the 3rd round. Usually, I mean, yeah, he's there in the 4th, but I think you could get Burrow in the 4th round. I mean, sure, he might not be there all the time. I would have gone at the 101 if McBride or Harrison would have been available. I would have drafted them. I don't know what J-Man's doing drafting Bowers and McBride. I don't hate Cat, but um, honestly, I'm not sure what he's doing. But I'm not drafting this team.
Your week 12 is you're heavy on week 12 buys. Oof. Ooh, if Omari Hampton's there, you might want to consider him. I think he's going to be a stud running back. If he's still there, he might come off the board.
I may just. Oh, I've got a guy in mind if he's available. No, the Chargers have. I know the Chargers play Kansas City week 15, Dallas week 16, and Houston week 17. So I've got a couple guys in mind.
Cade Otton might be a good tight end to look at too. Last year, remember, he balled out when they had receiver issues,
Yeah, but
injuries.
the Bucks are healthier receiver wise this year. Trust me.
Yeah, but I think he's going to get a lot. He's still going to steal the ball a lot. Man, there's still a lot of good receivers out there.
I don't know if I will. Yeah. I'm gonna
Oh,
take
he took Amari Hampton.
Alvin.
They're gonna be trash, dude. Look at your tight ends. What tight ends you got?
I'm not taking a tight end now. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take Jalen Waddle. I'm gonna take Jalen Waddle.
Yeah,
You know,
if they have a Saints on their uniform, just pass. That's all I got to say.
Week 12 is going to be a fun week for me this year.
That's what I'm saying. Everything you're drafting is week 12 right now, man. I guess that's the phone it in week.
That's the week that my team's going to be that week. Excuse me. Week 12 is going to be the week that I'm in Tahiti. No, but the reason why I drafted Jane Daniels where he is that I've got the stack with Terry and the bring back with CeeDee Lamb. So
some good divisional games there this year.
Yeah. How about Washington the last couple of weeks? Giants, Eagles, Cowboys in the fantasy playoffs.
Giants got a heck of a defensive line, man. They're going to be tough.
I think
I think the Bears, we get them like week 7 or 8. No. Yeah, something like that.
You might. When do you see Jackson Dart end up starting this year?
Dart?
Yeah.
Good question. Depends on Russ, man. If Russ is adequate for him, if I'm New York, I don't rush Dart out there. Like, you can let Dart sit the entire season behind, Russ. And, like, if you're out of playoff contention, maybe you get him some starts towards the back just to get him some game time. But really, I would think they have no pressure. With Russ sitting there on a 1-year deal, I would just let Dart learn and be at practice, get reps, get some garbage time in maybe. I wouldn't start him till I know I'm out of the playoffs.
I think it would totally depend on how well Jackson Dart looks in training camp. Because
it depends on.
Got a bad stretch the first 5-6 weeks.
I mean, it depends on that offensive line too. I don't want to get Jackson Dart killed, and I don't want him to get into bad habits because of a bad offensive line too. So if I can let him learn behind Russ for a year, I mean, look, it worked. The Packers did that with Jordan Love, granted for like 3 years, but it kind of worked out for them. Like, they don't have to rush Dart out there. They don't have to. Oh, Dunze's still out there. You have so many week 12. Hey, Dunze's got a week 5 bye, so you don't have to worry about week 12 there.
No, luckily I'm going running back next. So I'm going to take O.J. Harvey, the running back in Denver.
Another week 12 bye.
But he's a running back. I'm okay.
Come watch Dylan's team in week 12 as they sit on the bench drinking beer because they're all off for the week. CeeDee Lamb will be out there by himself trying to carry the team.
No, not last year, but 2 years ago, I drafted 4 week 9 wide receivers and then realized, oh, shoot. I'm like, what am I doing?
The only thing with guys like Olave and anyone who wears a Saints uniform that's good, they might be good trade deadline candidates to go to good teams and get you good stats at the back end of the year. But I don't think Nola is going to do anything with those guys in the front end, and they're in such cap hell. I think some of these guys are going to try to move at the deadline. It's like Olave, he could go to a good team at the deadline. All of a sudden, you'll get some good fantasy numbers out of him. But
well, if Olave stays healthy, that's the question.
That's the other piece, and same with Kamara, right?
Well,
Kamara's a little bit more durable, but
Kamara's not going anywhere, but that's the. Hmm.
I wonder if Pacheco will have a good year with Kansas City this year.
Hmm. I don't want to have two rookie running backs. It's not. I think I'm gonna take. I'm not gonna take another Week 12 guy at least yet. I'm gonna
Well,
take
say,
Kamara. Hmm. Still have not drafted any. I don't know. I mean, should I have drafted Jaden Daniels here, or should I? Would I've been better off just going somewhere else?
maybe somewhere else.
But I mean, if Jaden Daniels falls to me, and I've got the sack and the bring back, I mean, I almost have to do it right. Oh, he took Shaquille one pick before this guy would have taken him. Oh no, J-Man, what are you doing? Oh no. Yeah.
That's
I
funny.
have no idea. They can go on wide receiver. Do you like any of these wide receivers here?
Yeah, Ibuka.
Yeah, I do too. Plus, I have the Week 17 comp with Jalen Waddle. I mean, I'm not really a fan of Matthew Golden. Jayden Reed is fine. Josh Downs is fine. I think Donald Mooney's probably a little overrated.
He
I'll
is.
take
He's a good.
Isaac.
He's a good wide receiver too. But Ibuka, man, dude, he's part of the trio. But I think he's gonna get a lot of touches, man. Like when they drafted him, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. That wide receiving room is gonna be stupid good.
And I mean, everybody's like, why did the Bucks draft in Emeka Ibuka? It's like, why wouldn't you draft him? He's
Yeah.
one of the most polished receivers in this draft.
I think he's gonna have an immediate impact down there and extend some wide receiver careers too. Of those running backs, the one I wonder if NTN is going to be healthy this year.
That you know what? If Jalen Warren's there, I may take him and then take Dak and then probably take a wide receiver because there's one guy I want. Yeah, I think I would take Jalen Warren if he's there. If not, I would take one of the wide receivers.
What's his name? The tight end that Indy drafted.
Tyler.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be all their offense. He's gonna be like Brock Bowers, I think, in that regard. He'll probably be all their offense, which could be good or bad. Oh, there you go. All right.
I mean, if it's do you like Golden Reed?
Ibuka. I like Ibuka better than all those guys.
I didn't draft a Week 12 wide receiver. What am I doing?
Yeah, he's not a Week 12. You got someone playing. Hey, go Pack, go. Sorry, just saw your comment. Drafting on DraftKings, a fantasy team. As you can see, we just passed on two of your Green Bay Packer receivers.
I'm sure you told me you were thinking about that just because.
I mean, yeah, we went with the Ibuka. We went with the Ibuka over any of the Packers. But I mean, look at the Packers. Like, they're good, but I don't know. They're That's gonna be interesting up there. They gotta prove it in Green Bay with the receivers.
I think the question with Green Bay is simple. Is Jordan Love healthy?
Well, is Jordan Love the guy they paid, or is he less than what they paid? I mean, for him, is he worth the money they paid? Last year, he wasn't. So it's gonna be Green Bay's gonna be interesting to watch.
I don't think Jordan Love was ever healthy last year.
That could have been part of it too. But he did make some bad decisions, especially in the red zone last year. So he needs to fix that issue too.
Okay, I need to draft more Dak and CD. Check.
What'd you just draft?
Dak.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I gotta get your stat guy.
Yeah, so now I've got.
So if Jaden's not putting up the numbers, at least you got Dak who at least put up numbers.
Now I'm gonna go running back, probably running back, and then get Jake Ferguson in round 12. Wow, it is fun.
What do we got here, running back? Scatterboo. J.K. Dobbins in Denver might be interesting this year.
Holy cow, J.K. Well, I drafted O.J. Harvey, so I'm obviously not going that way. My goodness, J.K. Dobbins flying up draft boards. What is... Huh. Cam's interesting. Yeah, I'm afraid if I don't... And it gives me 15, 16... Yeah, I do need it. Yeah, I'm gonna circle. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to take another running back. I mean, I have no idea if R.J. Harvey's going to start or just be a rotational piece in Denver.
I take it Swift is off the board already, and so probably most of the NFC North guys are off the board. Roshan, there you go.
It's Drake May, who's been one of my faves this year. I mean, not fades, faves. Difference between fades and faves.
Yeah, go Pack, go mock fantasy football draft. There we go.
Yeah, go Pack, go all day. We are doing a DK best ball draft. I'll show you who I have through 10 rounds. CD, Land McConkey, Scary Terry, Jane Daniels, Waddle, Harvey, Tony Pollard, Emeka Buka, Dak, Ramondre. Yes, I don't have a tight end, but we'll get tight ends. Trust me. If I don't get tight ends, I'm
Green Bay's actually got a pretty good tight end. I hate to admit it, but he's not terrible when it comes to fantasy points.
Who?
Oh, that's his freaking name now. Go Pack, go will know it.
Tucker Kraft.
Yeah, Kraft.
Yeah, I love getting Kraft here, but I'm not going to get Tucker Kraft for this team. I'm probably going to try and get Jake Ferguson on the back end, and then get one of these guys here. Maybe a week. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to. Yeah, Washington plays the Giants, Eagles, and Cowboys 15, 16, 17. I know Dallas plays, I think, Minnesota, Chargers, and the Commanders. I don't know. Jane Blue intrigues me here, rookie out of Texas. Could be a receiving back. goes Jordan Love. Boy, I was just thinking the Houston Texans might have the oldest backfield in the NFL this year with Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb. Even older than Derrick Henry.
They do something down there with the Texans.
Yes.
The lady on Fresh Your Luck loves koalas. She and her husband love koalas.
That's an old episode.
So she's gonna win a trip to Australia.
No, Mom. That's an old episode.
Probably. No.
So I drafted Jane Blue. So now I'm gonna look for Jake Ferguson. I mean, I think Ferguson was a key guy I drafted a lot last year, and I don't know if he was healthy coming off the knee, but he's productive. You know, he can get 10 targets, and I mean, I think the Cowboys are going to throw this year, especially with maybe the worst backfield in NFL history. I don't know about you.
And they've got a much better defense this year, at least coaching wise, than they probably had last year. Eberflus may have sucked as a head coach, but he does do a good defense. So, yeah, their running back room is stupidly bad in Dallas.
There's Caleb Williams, 9th round with Loveland and Luther Burden. Boy, but Dallas got to take some running backs shortly. And Swift drafted Loveland and he's got to draft some running backs, but Love is wow. Yeah, I mean, not going to do better than those two, but I don't know, I'm not really a fan of Donham moving this year that high. That's just me, but does anyone want Tucker Kraft? I don't know. Am I the only one who wants Tucker Kraft?
No, I mean, look, in the North, look, if the other guys are gone, yeah, because I think Green Bay goes to him quite a bit. He's not a bad option at tight end. I mean, Laporta's gone, Loveland's gone, Cole Kmet's probably gone. He's not a bad pick. There we go. Go Pack, go. We took your guy. Tucker Kraft has been drafted.
By me. What am I doing? I'm drafting a Packers. Packer player. That should be illegal. I should be sent to.
The flogging will happen at the end of the show.
Oh no. By the way,
I think the NFC North offenses. I mean, the NFC North teams this year are all. It's flip a coin to see who's going to win that division. I think it can be.
By the way, do you know any couples when there's a Bear and a Packer fan living together?
Yoli. Her entire family are Bears fans, and she's the lone Packer fan. 7 brothers, all Bears fans.
Oh no!
Where she works, all Bears fans. She's the lone Packer fan.
Oh no!
Yeah. Yoli watches a lot of the shows on the Huddle, on our network over there, and yeah, she is a big Packers fan that is surrounded by nothing but Bears fans.
That's no point, no.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a good LB2 here. I mean, Tyler Algier, Rico Dowdle. Oh.
Definitely don't need a Week 12 guy. Well, you got Roshan. Yeah, you got him marked already. Roshan.
We get him a little later. I think I'm going to.
Bigsby's only going to play if Etienne's hurt. Oh, he's not going to get much there sitting behind what they've got in Atlanta. Oof. Keep going down.
I'll
What would
take
you take?
Dowdle. I think Dowdle
Yeah.
might. I don't know.
He might be the safest bet of the other ones that were there.
Yeah, now I'm going to try and get another tight end. I mean, if I could get Ferguson or Hurts, or Fry move. I don't care. I mean, I think the I think the Steelers are going to be interesting this year. I'll give them that.
With the geriatric quarterback. Yep.
I'm sure the quarterback who will not be named on this stream will be causing headlines. He'll probably be.
Ertz is good if you can get him though, because he's last year he was a safety valve and he made some big plays. And actually, he set up that Hail Mary with that play before the Hail Mary was like a 12 or 15-yard pass play to Ertz. I mean, Ertz is still a key element of that Washington offense.
Zach Ertz has got to be 79 years old and literally gets like 6-yard routes every single Sunday. I've never.
Well, look at his wife. His wife keeps him young, winning all those World Cups. Julie winning all those World Cups. Now he's got to compete for another ring. He can't let his wife have more rings than he does.
Well, Julie. Well, I'm not sure if Julie Ertz was part of that Olympic team. Yeah, Ertz was part of the World Cup.
She's got a couple World Cups. She's got a couple Olympic medals. Yeah, Julie Ertz won a lot.
Trust. Who's the best football player on that family?
Yeah. Well, for football, Julie. She's world class.
Yeah, that's not exactly saying much.
No. Well, yeah. Well, no. I mean, she is world class. Kate Otten's going to be there for you, I think.
Yes, got Fergie. Woo! Okay, so let me see how we are looking so far. I'm at 2-5-2. So, I mean, Lamb, McConkey, Terry, Daniels, Waddle, Harvey, Pollard, Abuka, Prescott, Ramondre, Jane Blue, Tucker Craft, Rico Darrell, Fergie, and not the singer Fergie. Thinking.
So you got 8 rounds left to go, huh? Well,
6.
7. The 8th round's a kicker. The final round's a kicker, right?
No. One other thing about these DraftKings drafts, there aren't any kickers or defenses. Only individual offensive players. Thank the Lord.
Yeah, I see up top: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, flex. Okay.
What do you think of Wan'Dale Robinson this year? I know Malik Neighbors is the alpha male in. Oh, there goes.
Oh, he's gone.
Never mind.
Doesn't matter. He's gone.
Yeah,
and there goes D-Hop. That was a good late round pickup. I think D-Hop will be good in Baltimore.
You know who else will be good in Baltimore this year? Jair Alexander, who you guys know very well.
Yep, and they got him for $6 million. Well, $4 million guaranteed, $2 million in incentives. Yeah, they stole him.
That's kind of ridiculous, right?
Taysom Hill is interesting because he's still listed as a running back, even though he never plays running back or quarterback. He
I'm
plays
not
everything else. He is has such a big contract, but they can't get rid of him. And Nola, I mean, he's a fan favorite, Nola, man. He always seems to come up with the big play. But
I'm not sure what to do with Taysom Hill coming off the 20 CL.
yeah, I mean, his contract is massive though for them. I mean, they got to figure out something with his contract because he is, I think, the second or third highest paid, or maybe last year at one point, I think he was the highest paid player. The, dude's had a great career without having to have a singular position to play. Just does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, in many ways, Taysom Hill is the ultra security. I'm thinking of versatile players. Mike Vrabel was one.
No, yeah, he's it. I mean, and they love him in NOLA. He is definitely a fan favorite in NOLA.
Problem from the Saints is that it might be. I mean, great for Kellen Moore getting a head coaching job, but now you've got to coach this crappy team.
Yeah, and your quarterback just retired on you.
Well, Derek Carr is also hurt. I don't blame him for retiring. That's just me.
Yeah, I don't either.
Going to get a running back here. Actually, no, I don't need you. I'm gonna get Will Shipley. I'm not into the Saquon Barkley. I know it bit me in the butt last year. I'm not one to draft a lot of Saquon this year, partly because I think running backs who rush for 2,000 yards are never the same.
Right. Ooh, Anthony Richardson went to ship the pick before yours. That's a
Interesting.
bold pick there.
Both quarterbacks. I don't know what to do there. I mean, I think Daniel Jones sent some stone in there, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think Daniel Jones ended up starting. Richardson can't stay healthy.
That's
Otton's off the board.
Yeah. I think I'm going another tight end. Yeah, I think I'm going tight end. Really want to get you. Maybe I'll get you. I don't know if I'll get another running back. I mean, I like my team. Not great at running back, but quarterback. I may see who's there. I mean, if Jackson Thalt's available, I'll get him. Oh, by the way, Shedeur Sanders went about 198 miles. About 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, the big speeding ticket. Like, Jesus. Hey, guys, don't go out and do stupid things. Got that. Hey, by the way, I just got this massive speeding ticket. Ah.
Yeah, lesson learned. Don't speed. Police get speedsters. Actually, first year I played fantasy football was 2009, and I did an auto draft that year.
Oh, I started playing fantasy back in the 90s.
and I'll tell you my team that I got that year. Quarterback, very famous guy. You might have heard of him. So yeah, I think he beat a certain team in a game we like to call the Super Bowl. Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark, CJ2K, and I needed, and this is a true story. In week 16, that was the year the Colts were 14-0, and Jim Caldwell basically pulled the plug and pulled his guys. I'm not kidding you. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. And I needed a touchdown from Sidney Rice on Monday Night Football against the Bears. Well, fourth quarter, within the last 2 minutes, Brett Favre throws a touchdown pass to Sidney
Yeah.
Rice, and I won my first
Right.
fantasy league that I was in. Talk about a really good player for like a few years before knee injuries. You could probably attest to Sidney Rice.
Unfortunately. Yeah, the guys keep getting me to try to do DraftKings. I probably
Did you
should,
hear?
but
Did you hear that FanDuel is going to start charging people in Illinois for making bets?
wouldn't surprise me. Good thing I don't live in Illinois anymore.
Where do you live now?
I'm in Florida.
Oh, nice. Yeah, actually, I have. My yeah, I'm born and raised in Florida. Where do you live in Florida?
Now I'm in the Panhandle. I'm by Pensacola. But I've lived in Jacksonville. I've lived in Orlando as well.
Oh, I'm in Estero, halfway between Naples and Fort Myers. I'm like, I hope we don't get. I hope we don't get the H war this year, and you're probably thinking the same thing.
We've been pretty good up here weather-wise. Last couple of years. Last year, all the hurricanes missed me, of course. Um, I'm around the Gulf too, so I was in my pool. What was it last week? I'm floating around my pool. The Blue Angels flew over. It's like
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Yeah, we're the home of the Blue Angels here, so we see them all the time. My last duty assignment was here. I'd go out every week, every Tuesday at lunch, and just watch the Blue Angels practice at lunch. Tough life. Yeah, that's good. Why not? Why not take Dart? He might get some good playing time, especially towards the back end of the year. Well, then again,
I
if he has a
mean,
really good camp, I don't see them starting him out of camp, but
no, I would not. No, I'll tell you this: I'm not getting Jackson Dart for Week 1. But as a
no.
third quarterback, I think you could do worse than Dart.
Yeah.
And I've been drafting unless I draft one of Burrow, Hurts, Allen, or Lamar, I'm okay drafting 3 quarterbacks.
Tank Dell is healthy. He could be interesting. He's still out there, believe it or not.
I don't think
If
I,
he's healthy. Big question there.
that might be. That's Wolf. Yeah, so I'm hoping Darius Slayton is available in a few picks. I'm going to get 2 more wide receivers and finish up this draft. So this will be a 3-6-8-3. 3 running backs, quarterback, 6 running backs, 8 wide receivers, 3 tight ends. Usually my drafts are either 3-6-8-3 or 2-6-9-3. It was Tutu Atwell, who I think has got a dance studio in his house.
Well, Mozart just went off the board.
I think you could do worse than
Yep, there went Tesla.
the big rookie slot out of Arkansas. I don't know why I know where all these guys went to college. Like, tell me a random player on the Bears, and I'll tell you where they went to college.
Bagent.
Huh?
Tyson Bagent. Our backup quarterback.
Okay, maybe not that guy. Steve, did he go to BYU?
Division II.
Oh gosh.
He was D2. NCAA point leader all time. As a quarterback.
North Dakota. Wait, it wasn't North Dakota State, right?
Undrafted free agent rookie at that. That's a tough one out the gate, though.
Okay, next.
Cole Kmet.
Golden Domer, Notre Dame.
Yep. That got Slayton. There you go. Kieran.
Say it.
How do you say Kieran's whole name? Hold on. Let me get it. I never went to school, but how do you say his name properly? Hold on a second. No, that's not it. Hold on. Kieran Amadeji. The last name is spelled Amegadjie. Kieran
Is he
Amadeji.
the wait, is he Kyle Monagy, whatever his name is? Monagy?
He got a spot start on Monday Night Football against the Vikings last year for the Bears at left
Oh
tackle.
gosh.
Hometown kid from the Chicago area.
Northwestern?
Nope.
Where is that guy? Not Felton. The running back from Seattle. I can't find him.
Third round pick number 75 last year in 2024.
Oh, that's who I wanted. I wanted Troy Horton.
Kieran went to Yale. He's an Ivy Leaguer.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm gonna take as my last pick Troy Horton. So I'm gonna end this draft. CeeDee Lamb, Lamb McConkey, Terry, Jane Daniels, Jalen Waddle, RJ Harvey, Tony Pollard, Mecca Buka, Dak, Ramondre, Jane Blue, Tucker Craft, Rico Dowdle, Fergie, Joshua Palmer, Will Shipley, Dalton Schultz, Jackson Paul, Darius Slade, Troy Holton. 3683. So,
That draft actually didn't do too bad. About an hour for the draft, not bad.
yeah, better than a lot of drafts. I remember I did a Yahoo draft last year. It was like an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. I streamed it and I'm like, oh boy. Yeah. So where can people hear you?
So yeah, at Ken the Bear Fan on X, you can catch the shows I'm on. Like I'm there right now. I sent your show there today. So every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central or 11 a.m. Eastern, we have Ken and Ken in the morning from 10 a.m. Central to 11 a.m. Central, 1 hour. And then on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Central, we have the Hallis Hall Report. And on Sunday at 11 a.m., so pregame, we have Hallis Hall Report as well. And then I hop on other shows like JB does his roundtable immediately following Hallis Hall on Wednesday. Said be at 8 p.m. Central, and we're holding it down for him. You can find me on at Mike the Bear Fan on Facebook. That page, it's where we put a lot of our shows. The Huddle Sports app on Roku TV and Fire TV. Also at the Huddle Sports on YouTube. The Huddle Sports at Facebook, at Ken the Bear Fan on YouTube. I'm a little bit all over the place. Plus, we're on Apple, Spotify, and one other for voice only for Ken and Ken in the Morning and Hallis. So we stay kind of busy. This is what I do in my retirement, man. This is what keeps me busy. Spend most of my time on X. But yeah, like this show I sent to my YouTube and my X. So That's where Go Pack Go was, and Yoli was on my X account. Every show I'm on goes to my X account. But if you have a Fire Stick or a Fire TV or a Roku, you can search in the Huddle Sports or Huddle Sports, and you can download our app, and we've got all our shows on there as well.
Yeah, and I mean, there's all kinds of fun we're doing now. I mean, it could be a fantasy draft, DraftKings draft. By the way, I'm not sure I'll be doing a Yahoo draft this year. I'm not liking what I'm hearing on Yahoo.
Yeah, I haven't done a Yahoo in a while. The league, so for Huddle, for Hallis, we have it's a Huddle league that we've been doing for a couple of years. That's on ESPN. So I've had a couple leagues on ESPN. I haven't done a Yahoo league. I think I did one Yahoo league last year, and I just let it auto draft. I think I won the league on an auto draft. It's like, okay, I barely paid attention to it, but you know what I find though? It's funny with like the regular fantasy leagues, whether it be CBS Sports. I used to do a lot of CBS Sports leagues back in the late '90s, early 2000s. I found that like every year when you got to the championship, it'd be one guy who auto drafted and one guy who showed up to the live draft without fail. So like, I don't know, that's always been the debate, auto draft versus live draft. And it seems that like even last year for the Huddle League, I think the championship game was a guy who auto drafted against a guy who live drafted. It's like, yeah, I mean, because you can look at your lineup, go, man, I got Kittle, I got this guy, I got that, and you go nowhere. And then you get the guy who auto drafted with, and he ends up with 5 kickers, and now he's got to go hit the waiver wire, and he ends up winning the damn league. And you're like, okay. So I think 2 things happen in fantasy. One, you homer out with your team because you know them best, and then 2, you're like, oh, well, there's this big name, but you know, just because they're a big name doesn't mean they score well fantasy. Like Dak Prescott, yeah, the Cowboys normally suck, but he's a great fantasy quarterback because he puts up big fantasy numbers, and people don't make that delineation. Like, you know, I'm gonna go get Hurts. You know, he just won the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm gonna get Hurts. Like in the Super Bowl, he had like 150 yards. Like, yeah, he wins games, but he doesn't get you fantasy points.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. If you want points, go get Lamar. Go get Josh Allen. I mean, Jalen Hurts gets a lot of touchdowns because of his butt.
Well, you do get the touchdown points for him on that. That's true. But like fantasy, I've been doing fantasy now for what? 20 some years, almost 30 years. And it's that argument's still there. Live draft versus auto. It's a 50-50, man. I swear almost every league I see, the guy, you can have a 10-team league, 8 guys show up to the draft in the final game. It's going to be one of the 2 auto drafters against someone who drafted live. Every time the auto drafters do well. So I don't know. It's always interesting. I like to make the drafts if I can, and I do reasonably well, but you know, sometimes life happens and I miss it and I get mad because I missed the draft and I still do well. So I'm like, okay. It's always interesting. I know there are players I'd stay away from this year. Like
anybody you don't want to draft this year.
I'd stay away, believe it or not, from Kittle and Kelsey at tight end. Wow. Because, at least is my primary, because of injury concerns for both of them. Right?
I think
that's the hard part, is the injury concerns. Like, and Kittle may get you, like Kittle missed, 4 or 5 games last year? So you want a tight end that's going to be consistently durable. You know, like Laporta, like when he came back, he was great, but you had to survive until Laporta came back. But yeah, I stay away from Kittle and Kelsey just because of the age and injuries.
I have not drafted any of Kelsey or Kittle this year. I mean, I'm trying to draft more 49ers. Trust me, I know the 49ers playoff schedule. That's what I'm trying to do, but hasn't happened yet. I mean, we've got 2.5 months before the regular season starts. I will try and draft more 49ers, but And I mean,
In my case, I need to not draft as many.
I'll draft the Bears for you.
This year, I would think DJ Moore is probably a good pick. I would say Rome's a good pick. Swift is a good pick. Both tight ends are probably good picks. Caleb's a good pick. But it's all predicated on one thing. Do you believe that the Bears spent, with all the resources they put into the offensive line in the offseason, and then they went and got Ben Johnson, do you think that's been fixed? Because if the offensive line isn't fixed, even though those guys are all super talented offensive weapons, if the offensive line's not fixed, they're not, DJ's not going to get the yards. Rome's not going to get the yards. Swift last year put up 950 yards and a good amount of touchdowns on a bad O-line. He's probably the safest Bear of all of them as far as fantasy points. If the O-line's not fixed. If the O-line's fixed, so you could go with 5 or 6 guys. If you go to Detroit, I mean, Laporta's a safe pick. St. Brown's a safe pick. J-Mo, I'd question picking him.
Gibbs
is probably a safe pick. Yeah, he's probably a safe pick, but Smash, not so much. Remember, he had the knee injury at the end of last year.
No, Monty had the knee injury.
That's what I'm saying. He's Smash of the two, isn't he? Well, Monty's still – he's not a safe fantasy pick because I don't know about that knee injury. He kind of rushed it back for the playoffs. I mean, there's only one game. I doubt he's probably healthy. But, look, now you've got Morton calling the plays. So, and their offensive line got a little bit worse. They lost 2 starters. One the free agency, one the retirement. So Monty, though, I tell you what, I loved Monty in Chicago. If Monty's healthy, he's good. I like him better than Jameer, honestly. If you go to the Vikings, they got a good tight end, you got 2 good receivers, you got a good running back. Even the running back 2 is good. Their quarterback, McCarthy. If you go to Green Bay, you can draft the running back pretty safely. You can draft their tight end and probably feel comfortable with that. Their wide receivers, good question. Good question. Dobbs might be somewhat of a safe pick. Golden, they're going to want to go to a lot. He's a first-round pick, but his hands were good in college. If his hands are good in the pros, he might be a safe pick for some good fantasy points because Love's got to find someone he trusts to not drop the ball. It might be Golden.
Oh, it's gonna be fascinating to see. Thanks for hopping on to this draft with me.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
You know what? Maybe we'll see the Bears win in 2025.
I mean, I don't want to have too much hopium going through the veins here, but I mean, if they went from the least amount in the NFL basically on the O-line to the 6th. They put money in with Tooney, Jackson, Dolman, Chris Dolman. Trapio was a good investment in the draft. If that O-line's fixed, you could be right, Dylan. That offense might surprise people, and the defense was already good. It just when Flus got fired, the defense got worse because he was the architect and the play caller. They got a good defensive coordinator in Allen. You look at the Bears have a shot. They will have a legitimate shot at winning that division or being a playoff team this year if that offensive line is fixed. They have a legit shot.
Well, we'll be watching and drafting the Bears this entire summer. So thanks for hopping on, and we'll see you later.
Have a good one. Thanks.